So after I first had Tilda, I had a little bit of a bone to pick with my friend Anna here.
Again.
And that was, why didn't you tell me how hard having a baby is? I don't mean having a baby, I just mean that first 6 weeks. Crikey. I mean, it's rough.
It is hard. It's really hard, but you wouldn't do it to anybody, would you? I think it would be like the child who's just gone and got themselves a wonderful helium balloon, and as you walk past, you're going to go and pop it. What you don't think about when you're pregnant and you haven't already had a baby is that it is just a pooing, whinging, demanding little machine that's going to suck the life out of you.
And make you so tired that you are never going to you think you're never going to sleep again. And it's a different kind of tired than you've ever experienced.
My two big shockers. One was, dear God, the veins, the hemorrhoids that all popped out child number 3. Didn't happen with child number 1, didn't happen with child number 2. You'd think child number 3 coming out would be a breeze. Well, it didn't. The whole of my bottom came out with that baby, and they still have not. Not that your bottom is something that's on display generally, and it's just a horrible, horrible thing. Yes, there's cream. Yes, you have to poke them back in. It's just, it couldn't be. It's a disgusting, horrible thing.
It wasn't until I was pregnant that someone said, oh, but you might bleed for up to 6 weeks after you have a baby.
Horrible.
I mean, for me, it was about 3 weeks.
It's not bleeding, is it?
Oh, my goodness.
It's not just bleeding.
You've just had 9 months of no periods, and then someone's gone, ha, you're going to get them all now.
But it's also just not blood.
No.
I mean,
it's clots.
We were talking about it earlier, and I can remember looking down in the pad,
the giant,
and just thinking, pads. I must need that inside me. Maybe that's half of my inside.
Oh, was that my liver that just
or was that another baby that hadn't quite grown properly? I mean, using the 100% lanolin cream could have saved me from going to hell and back first time. I may not have, I'll never know. But I tried using a cream, a white cream that was just a shop's own. It wasn't the £9.99 cream. That was the most expensive on the shelf. And my nipples were bleeding, cracked, skin hanging off. They couldn't have been in a worse state. I was crying in fear, needing the baby to be latched on, and then feeding the baby blood out of my nipples, and which just you think I'm trying to breastfeed, which I think is the right thing to be doing, and yet I'm actually feeding my baby blood. It was awful. And
but the amount you have to pee, I had to pee. I would go for a wee, come back, sit down, and then just go, I need to go again. And that would be through the night. I'd lie down, and I'd go, no, there's more. My hands were red raw, because I was washing them so much. Because I was washing my hands every time I went to the loo. They were red raw. It's crazy.
To say to somebody who's newly pregnant and really excited, actually, you're not going to be able to wee if you've had stitches without pouring a jug of warm tea tree water over yourself. I mean, God, do men really know what we go through? It's awful. Clots coming out of here, the piles coming out of here, these really hurting, these constantly
God, you're just
crying.
Liquid coming out of everywhere.
Still, you can hold that baby that's kept you up all night, and you can't sit down to feed them because of the piles, and you've got the maternity pad that needs changing. All those things, you can still look at that baby and love it. 100% that baby can look at you and smile, and you feel love like you've never, ever, ever felt before, and that's quite an amazing thing.
So, we're whinging, but it's worth it, I think is the bottom line.